Good morning, everyone. My name is Billy Jones. I'm a member of the South Florida Writers Association. Today, it's with great pleasure that I bring to you, on behalf of the organization, our June 2020 Authors Showcase Series, a virtual experience. The purpose of this segment is to provide an opportunity for avid readers, book enthusiasts, and of course, our esteemed authors, a platform by which the authors can showcase their work, folks can be informed of what wonderful things they're doing, and to be connected, especially in this very unique, unprecedented time. Today, we are privileged to have with us Miss Lorette Gay, the author of The Daily Battle for a Normal Life, a memoir. And I'd like to read for you a brief bio about her. Lorette Gay truly believes that it isn't by hazard that bad or good things happen to us. We're here on Earth with a predetermined assignment and with a plan that was designed for each of us. We don't make our destiny, we're born with it. Born in Haiti and married, she's the mother of 3 lovely, handsome children. At the age of 10, she traveled to Canada with her mother, then returned to her origin country 2 years later to complete her residence. Oddly, her mother refused to go back. In 1987, after the presidential overthrow, she and her family established their lives in the United States. She thought it wasn't meant for her to become a Haitian Canadian, but a Haitian American. She never had the good fortune to meet her father, even once in her life. She was left to live with her grandparents, deprived of her mother's presence, and as the only child in her grandparents' house, aloneness didn't take long to invade her young soul. She took refuge in reading books, especially good French literature books, Victor Hugo, Pierre de Rossan, Jean de La Fontaine, and Haitian literacy classics of Oswald Durand, Esther Villard, and Misalion Calco, to cite a few. She also took real pleasure to observe the folkloric panorama of nature which has become her best friend. Through her journeys, she has encountered various ups and downs that didn't let her any low. And she doesn't let all of this dishearten her because of her belief that burdens. I have to share, when I picked up her book, and I know Lorette very well as a member of the South Florida Writers Association, she's just stunning, and her writing is just so compelling. And she has this ability to take us back to times and episodes in her life that were so meaningful. It is with great pleasure that I formally introduce to you, viewing audience, Miss Lorette Gay. 1 second, Lorette, you'll be coming on live. How are you, Lorette?
I am fine, exciting, and I'm thanking you for having me today and for the beautiful words of your introductions.
You're very welcome.
My name is Lorette Gay. I am the author of this book, The Daily Battle for a Normal Life. I gave it this title because it's a story about perseverance, fortitude, and faith in the face of dating challenges. I started to write this book during a time when my life was in jeopardy. I suddenly stopped working. I was very sick with no hope that my health would improve at all. And financially, it was pretty bad. I had to take a decision. I had to make a difficult choice between my health and my work. But with the help of my many doctors I had at that time, I chose my healthiness. Thanks to you, my cherishing doctors. It was hard for me. I wasn't prepared for this eventuality. It was like I was thrown into a deep, dark hole of darkness. Mentally, I was gone to another world. The world that some people think that you may never return from. Fortunately, I did return, and I came back fine. I wasn't going to let burdens taking over my life. I had such confidence that one day things will get better. Even for my diseases, they will leave my body. Through my book, I wanted to remind people that when you fall down into the darkness in life, people don't give up, because the light may be just one step further. I also wanted the people to understand that we all have burdens. This is not the end of life. Some people might have more problems than the others, but it's still burdens for that person. My grandmother's favorite saying is, everyone is carrying a cross, but each cross, no matter of what it is made of, is your cross to bear, and it's heavy for the carrier. She said it in Creole, of course. She doesn't speak English. There is a song that I use as my mantra. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. What is life in reality? It's a battlefield where you always have to fight to survive. The daily battle for a normal life is a story about Olivia, a fatherless and virtually motherless girl being raised by her grandmother and her grandfather, whom she simply calls mother and father. Olivia didn't have friends in her childhood. Her grandparents didn't allow this kind of socializing. Like most of the children, she created a friend. That friend was visible to her eyes, in front of her all the time to contemplate. Her grandparents' house was located on the peak of a mountain facing the ocean, such a beautiful view to watch all the changes in the nature. She would sit for hours at the front porch, having a conversation with her friend. That may sound senseless, but at that time, she was certain that her friend silently listens to her. This is how some kids in need of friendship can become silly by creating stuff. The silliest part is, as of today, sometimes she goes to the backyard, sat there, listening to the water pouring into the pool from the spa, and looking at the natural beauty surrounding her. She finds herself still talking to the nature. For her, life is similar to nature. Today, the sun is hiding behind the clouds to leave us sighting a dark panorama in the sky. Tomorrow, the sun arises and shines again. It's the same for human beings. When we don't fall, regardless of the reason, we should be able to stand up again. So, through her life, she always uses nature as a good example to help her during her gloomy times. Olivia boarded many strangers' houses for school, including a religious residence like a dorm for adolescents. After all, she managed to survive against the stresses of men indecent harassment. This is something single parents doesn't take in consideration when the mother or the father is absent in the education of a child. I know that when you're single, it's harder to raise a kid, especially to make ends meet to pay the bills. Indeed, most of the children suffer from that as a consequence for their negligence. We may think that is a common fact, but for her, it was her fact that she came to grief for a long time. Imagine there are children who didn't ask to be born, to be left out by irresponsible parents. She couldn't understand that mentality of some parents. She calls it parental selfishness. This is one of the issues that I did elaborate in my book, The Daily Battle for a Normal Life. In her juvenile, Olivia traveled alone in just about the entire country of Haiti, from the south to the north, the east to the west, to the city of Epiphany in Canada, wherever her mother landed to work. She goes there either for vacation or to temporarily leave. She saw things of all kinds during her traveling with her mother's friends. I let you to find out in my book who were these friends and what did she witness during the course. This memoir is also a story about a Haitian-born immigrated in the United States. Olivia left her country in 1987 after a violent uprising in her native land, to lose everything during the Hurricane Andrew in Miami. At a time when she thought that things are getting better, her house was destroyed during this disaster. She rebuilt everything. Life continues, she said to herself. Then later, she suffers a myriad of chronic medical conditions that led her to go on disability. In January 2010, January 12, 2010, her husband just left the day before to go to Haiti. An earthquake demolished most part of the capital. He was there in the middle of the cataclysmic. Why did he choose this day to live and to make her so worried about him? She doesn't know. Was it predestined? All she knows is he had to be there because despite that he had lost half of his business, he was around to help other people. So she stopped asking why. It's God's will. She said that to close the gap of this persistent question that kept coming back again and again to her mind. It was always a what is next in Olivia's life. From the time she was born, it's a constant battle to survive. The diseases aligned to attack her body one after the other one. She's a faithful believer in destiny. That is why she was convinced that everything was meant to happen the way it is. With such confidence in destiny, she found the courage and the strength to go through 4 treatments for one of her ailments. She never lost faith. She is certain that each of us was meant to be who we are. And what is happening into our life isn't a coincidence. It's just part of our destiny. In this book, The Daily Battle for a Normal Life, I'm telling how she overcomes all these burdens. Maybe you can do like she did. I'm going to read a part of this book that I wrote. I like it very much. Nature has remained a mystery in my life. I use it to make examples and comparisons during my moment of exasperation in life, when I had to reconcile my 2 selves, happiness and madness. The close association among the ocean the sky and the sun still take my breath away anytime I have the leisure of facing them together. They give me the opportunity to appreciate the universe for all its wonders and rejoice that they are available to my view. Nature gives me the perspective on life that everything shouldn't always be the same. It's good sometimes to have some clusters of challenge in life. They help us jog our memories and recall that we haven't been thankful enough to God for all his creations and his blessings. My life has been defined by so many occurrences that I wonder about myself. Who am I to have such an exceptional existence where uncanny, unfortunate, illuminating things happen one after another? I believe that the emotions running through my blood give me my beliefs, the spiritual power of faith that makes me always think that tomorrow will be better. I feel the pillars that encircle my essence, which kept me as rigid as a rock and allow me to absorb the annoyances of life with dignity. I feel like the butterfly, beautiful to look and fragile to the touch. I feel like the horse, strong and brave, able to carry the world on my back, which isn't always dependable. I feel sometimes like a monster, living under the dark tomb of fear. I wonder when the bright light will come to take away my pitiful soul. I feel like the flower seed, which germinates, grows, blossoms, fade, and dies after all. I feel like there is a sad part in my body that you cannot see. I feel like the sun rising down and up, like a human being with chronic disabilities does, one day up and one day down. I feel the urge to scream about the wonder inside of me, which is similar to that of others. I feel like I am in the middle of the ocean and there is a big hole in my canoe. I have no safety ring and I cannot swim. So only God's hands can rescue me from the inevitable perilous water. I feel like the lamb, silently waiting for the sacrifice with fear of a certain death, but acceptance of being the chosen one. I feel that I have been baptized again, that the spiritual dove flew out of my body to reveal to others that I'm free of bad episodes and persecutions. What I feel doesn't seem so imperative anymore. Now, all I need to do is survive all my tribulations. My life has been a controversy in motions, and I need peace. I hope you had enjoyed my story, my lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorette. I'm coming back on to say that was first a beautiful reading. You can read to me all day. You have such, I mean, you're very inviting, and as I listened to you, I couldn't help but pull out very powerful lines that you use in your work. Like sometimes I feel like a monster, and in living under the darkness of fear. They were such vivid imagery that almost was poetic, actually.
Oh, I cannot say I try because, sometimes Billy, I'm sorry, I call you Bill. Billy, sometimes when you have so much pain from fibromyalgia and others, you became a poet without knowing it because it's a lot of stuff that comes to your mind and you find yourself, you say, wow, is it me that say that? This is amazing. My
And you
life.
also, I'm glad you bring that up because in order to write memoirs, especially memoirs about your own incredible story, you have to be in a right place of mind and thinking in order to be able to put it out there. And so that speaks volumes of your courage, your bravery to release this and to let this be out in the literary world. What has that been like for you since the book has been published? What has life been like now that you've given these tidbits, these little vignettes of your life story? What has life been like for you since?
I can say it in 2 words: release and free. It looks to me that I discharge my long-time worries into my book. I feel at peace, very at peace.
Hmm. And I think as part of that release is so important. Many authors that I've known who've written memoirs have all stated similar things, that there was this sudden release of whatever it was, because at the end of the day, each of these little vignettes of your life, they create this theme, this overall message. And what would you say would be the overall message that you want people to take away, readers to take away after reading your incredible work?
I believe that everyone has a story,
Yes.
but telling your story is like teaching others how to deal with circumstances. It's also telling people that they are not alone. Millions of you are in the same situation. We're all connected to our stories, whether it's joyful or hurtful or painful, it's a story. It's powerful when you can tell your story. You may help someone in distress. And story, I have a friend that had 2 mastectomies, and she survived from cancer. When I heard her story, I said to myself, if she can do it, I can do it too. She gave me at that moment a boost. People's story gives courage, strength, and hope to other people.
It's true. In fact, it's a great way to segue over to your writing process. Now, to write a book, as you know, Lorette, it takes a lot of conviction, commitment. It takes a lot out of you, but it's enjoyable all the same. So could you walk me through very briefly, what was your process like, such as how long did it take you to write the book, to put together the storylines? What was your day-to-day ritual, if not monthly ritual, to get it done? Because at some point you have to get into a habit of ritual writing, or perhaps doing it in times or pieces when you have the time. What was your process like?
I had to get sick to understand how interesting it is to write. There is a saying in French, à quelque chose malheur est bon. What I can translate, out of bad comes good. The things with fibromyalgia is, it will make your body feels like impossible to get out from bed. To push myself out of this saga, I had to create something that gives me purpose to wake up every day. In addition of doing gardening, which was mostly unbearable to do. At the beginning, I was just to pass the time. Quickly, like a magic, I developed the love of writing. And I had fun, to tell you, I had fun. So that gave me that boost. I wanted to get up every day. I said, okay, let me write. Even though I don't publish it, but I want to write. I don't want to stay in bed. It's a kind of courage. I don't call it, for me, you have to be brave to tell about your story, to publish your story.
Very true. Very true. And it's funny because I write, as you know, I write short story fiction about everybody else and never about me. Until recently, in my latest work, I slid in a couple of works that related to me. But I always felt that my life story was not compelling enough, memorable enough, or in some cases good enough to be memorialized as a memoir. What advice do you give to other people who are thinking of writing their own book about their life story or writing a book in general?
But this is what you always take. Like I said, everybody has a story. You might think it's not that compelling to you, but it is for somebody else. It can help somebody else. I didn't write my story because I want people to know about my story. It's just to help others, that people who are in the same situation, I believe when they heard my story, they can say, wow, she did. She has the same diseases. She went through to so many things and she survived. I can do it. I can do it too. That's why I wrote my story. And I didn't know I had all those. I didn't know I went through all these. This is when I finished my book and I start crying. I said, oh my God, I survived from all these. That's amazing. Thanks God, I did very good. You find yourself another person after you finish to write your story. Don't hesitate to do it. It's very good. It's a relief. Everybody can do it.
So what's next? You've written this incredible work and it's out there now. Any future works or projects in store that we could get a little teaser of, perhaps?
I can tell about my next one because I'm doing a lot of research about it. It's a subject that I want to elaborate deeply. And it's a kind of personal also, because I want to talk about what is matter to me in life. So I don't know, one day I'll tell you, but not today. It's a, it's a secret.
Understood, Lorette. And that's, one of the things that I would hope, having known you now about a year and listening to you read and present, you would make your book would make a great audiobook as well, read by you, because you have a voice that invites and engages. And that means a lot today for authors. Very often many folks can write incredible works, But when it's time to present that work to the universe, that's where who you are in terms of your own persona, your digital brand, your presence in the world, your personality, all those things are packaged. And then now folks want to get to know the author behind the incredible story. I just want to say that you have the it factor to make that work. And I'm very grateful to have read your work and also to see it flourish. And I can't wait to see what's coming next for you. So you're saluted for all of your hard work. I know this means a lot to you.
Thank you.
So at this time, folks, I'd like to say thank you for watching our June 2020 segment of the Author Showcase Series, a virtual experience. I'm here with my dear colleague, Lorette Gay, the author of The Daily Battle for a Normal Life, a memoir. We will provide you available in our links below, links and access info so that you can access her work and purchase it all the same. And above all, we hope that you will camp on to her social media feeds that will be provided as well. We also encourage you to camp on to our South Florida Writers Association's media feeds. We are available and we are here to serve independent, emerging, and traditionally published authors. It's a great place to network and to connect. It's also an incredible place to grow and learn. So thank you so much for watching our segment and have a great day.
Thank you again. And I wanted to say last things. I want the readers who wish to experience what Olivia's went through during her life. They can purchase The Daily Battle for a Normal Life, also online at Amazon. They can get a copy or ebook, Apple iTunes, Google Play, or Barnes and Nobles. Also, I would like to say thanks to the committee of South Florida Writer Association for the effort to come up with this technique in this time of social distancing. I like this type of perseverance, like you are saying, the show must go on. Again, thank you, Billy.
You're very welcome.
Everybody.